Dragon Ball Daima, Episode 16, Easter eggs, lore, references, trivia, and all that in between. Right now. The full-length intro with the narrator talking about Goku's entire life, including the arrival of the Saiyans, appeared once again. This must be due to the show needing to fill out runtime for TV broadcasts. If it was still set to be a web anime, I don't believe this would be happening, but then again, this episode had a lot happening, so that may not be true as well. Before showing the title screen of this episode, there's a bit of a preview / prelude to what's going to happen. It's an interesting stylistic take. Vegeta used the old get out of the way and let your attack hit you maneuver on Helia after he shot at him. Goku did this with Piccolo and Frieza. Kadem has a special technique just like Commander Ginyu, but Kadem's attack is pathetic. It also looks like a Final Flash. This move Vegeta did on Recoome also looked like a Final Flash, and it was also pathetic. Kadem's attack does look reminiscent to Frieza and Cooler's attacks. Vegeta defeats the entirety of the Kempe Tokusentai. He also defeated the entirety of the Ginyu Tokusentai. And he low-key owned this group in the same way that he owned the Namekian village he stole the Dragon Ball from in Dragon Ball. By the time Goku and the others reached Goma's statue, I realized the series had been taking a reverse Muscle Tower approach idea from the Buu arc. Each demon world is lower and lower than the last, and you got to go through a bunch of jabronis just to get to Babidi. Or in this case, Goma. This area of the demon realm looks similar to the Devil's Toilet from Baba's Tournament all the way back in Dragon Ball. And the way Piccolo and Vegeta ask Goku to stop eating and focus on where Dende is may be a callback to Majin Buu doing the same thing to Piccolo while searching for an opponent to fight. The guest states that it's been over a millennia upon seeing his older brother again. Shin, by the way. He also says it's in a Glean's nature to seek higher positions after revealing he wants to be king of the demon realm. Clearly making a point about Shin's role as the Kaioshin in the outer realm. Kaioshin straight up educates everyone on what his job title actually is, in the middle of a hostile situation no less. He oversees the peace and order in the universe, just in case you were wondering. Piccolo incapacitates Degues with a nice hard chop, kinda like this one. Remember that filler scene where Babidi was rejoicing over Buu's demise? Well, that plays out over here with Goma. Apparently, this chick's ex gave her the hat she gave to Hybis. This shot of Shin watching his brother walk the plank to potentially be executed does seem like a callback to Beerus watching Champa about to be erased, and eventually get erased. Goma's transformation after attaining the red eye is very similar to Frieza's in choreography and the fact that they both get immensely more powerful, larger, and more devilish looking. He even casted a shadow over the girl and loomed over her, kind of like Frieza did to Vegeta during their fight. And yes, he does look even more like a Pride Trooper now. Also, the preview for episode 17 in this episode was extended, just like the preview for episode 8 was way back a few months ago, where Goku had to fight Tamagami number 1. Those are the Easter eggs for episode 16 of Dragon Ball Daima. Dragon Ball Daima, episode 17, Easter eggs, references, and lore, and more coming up next. There's no long intro explaining the entirety of Dragon Ball in this episode. Goku and the others are gatekept from having every Dragon Ball like Vegeta, Kuririn, and Gohan were on Namek when the Ginyu arrived. And a bit like the first arc of Dragon Ball where Pilaf stole the majority of their Dragon Balls, keeping them from having all 7. Arinsu points out that Shin is short. This statement, along with the flashback to the Gleans from the previous episodes, show that they do in fact have to grow and develop, and aren't just born into maturity. Shin gives a weird, sinister smile to Arinsu, which looks very similar to the one he gave to Goku when they first met. Unlike their guess, Arinsu wants a stronger and more terrifying demon realm that the outside realm will bow to. Arinsu even offers a fight between the representatives of each side like the Ginyu did to further my Easter egg from earlier, but even more so like Baba and her fighters from the Uranai Baba tournament, and they're even doing it for the final Dragon Ball of each respective arc. Right after this, Vegeta offers to play rock, paper, scissors for who gets to fight, just like with the Ginyu, or if you remember the Buu arc, themselves, from not that long ago in universe. The alpha face-off Goku and Do had was intentionally meant to remind you of classic Dragon Ball standoffs, which were taken from standoffs in westerns. Even Doo's war cry before charging Goku is classic Dragon Ball. The part where Goku and Do are running parallel to one another is similar to GT episode 39 when Baby and Goku did it. And also the Dragon Ball Z opening animation. You know, the one with Gohan jumping on mountains as Shenlong rises out of the clouds, or Goten and Trunks doing it with the We Gotta Power. Do grabs Goku with his horn and starts bashing him into the ground, taken straight from Majin Buu's playbook. Daima didn't have its usual eye catch. Instead, it had this with Goma. Gomer prepares a big special ring to fight everyone on, just like Cell did with the Cell games. Goma gave Vegeta a big old clothesline from hell like Broly, and Goma claps all of them much like Broly does, but he's massive just like Slug. There's gonna be a lot of movie references from the next few. Bulma points out it's not like Son-kun to suggest everyone fight. This shows that Goma is the real deal. It's like Goku needing help against Raditz from early Dragon Ball Z era. He was terrified to face Raditz. Also, this battle feels a lot like Hirudegarn from movie 13 or Cell Max with everyone attacking at once. Airinsu was hesitant to send her troops out to battle just like Vegeta was with Broly. Bulma needing help to see the battle because she isn't able to fly is a callback to Trunks killing Frieza when she needed help there, needing Gohan to carry her away from Dr. Gero's explosion, and even GT's final battle with the One-Star Dragon after he blew up her Bruteways machine, and when Goku was about to launch the Genki Dama, which is as a whole a similar battle to this one. Goma's stance here is just like Broly's or Yi Xinglong from GT. Goku's SS3 transformation reminds me of how he attained UI in Dragon Ball Super, or in episode 63 of GT when the One-Star Dragon wrecked him and everyone believed he was dead. Also, Goku went SS3 for the first time in Daima. Took him 17 episodes. And those are the Easter eggs for episode 17 of Dragon Ball Daima. Easter eggs, lore, references, and more from Dragon Ball Daima episode 18. Goku's massive punch to Goma's body. Seen that anywhere before? Majin Buu throwing that cookie at Do like a disc reminds me of the One-Star Dragon doing that with a clock to Goku. Majin Buu mimicking SS3 is a reference to Majin Buu's abilities to pick up techniques quickly. The cookie wearing off could be a callback to Goku's power wearing off in SS3 during the Buu arc. Remember when Vegeta became a great ape and squashed Goku? Well, Goma gets in on that action as well. Goma's demonic ball mimics the many ball-related attacks from GT. You got Baby's Revenge Death Ball, Super 17's Dengeki Jigoku Dama / Electric Shock Hell Ball. That's what it translates to. What a sick name. And the One-Star Dragon's Minus Energy Ball. The whole sequence of Goku attaining what looks to be SS4 in Dragon Ball Daima does follow the same structure as when he got it in GT. A kid Goku gets stomped out by Baby while in SS3 and has to absorb Brute's Wave from Earth to eventually become a great ape and subsequently transform into SS4. In Daima, a kid Goku gets stomped out by Goma and has to absorb magic power from Neba to transform into SS4. I'll even take it a step further. Neba's role in this transformation resembles the Elder Kaioshin, who had to pull out Goku's tail in order for him to have a chance at gaining even greater power. And both of them are gleans, so there you go. There's even the water droplets from the original episode of GT where he transformed, and even the look into Goku's body is just like the original. Then when Goma throws his demonic ball blast at Goku, it doesn't do any damage to him at all, just like the Revenge Death Ball had no effect on Goku after transforming in Dragon Ball GT episode 35. Also, did I mention that Goku hit SS4 in this episode? And there's even a pan-up shot for him, just like they had for Goku in GT. This frame of Goku immediately after hitting SS4 had to be a nod to Toriyama's depiction of SS4 from the 2005 Dragon Ball GT Dragon box set. The design of this version of SS4, or whatever this transformation is going to end up being called, may be based off that drawing as well. And of course, Goku immediately rushes into the fight with Goma, just as he did with Baby in episode 35 of GT. Then they do a little bit of that parallel running spot from episode 39 of GT that I brought up last week. Do all the high rocks remind you of the ones from Goku and Super 17's fight? The spot where Goku's running to avoid Goma's blast reminds me of him doing the exact same thing in GT episode 57 with the One-Star Dragon. Goku's Kamehameha is stopped before he could even finish saying it. Has that ever happened before? Well, if you want to find out, watch my video on every Kamehameha in Dragon Ball and you'll have the answer to that. Click the card in the upper right corner to do that. The 10 times Kamehameha from GT was red, but this Kamehameha has an orangey fire all around it and looks pretty cool. Then after getting beaten around, Goma grows much larger and more powerful. Seen this anywhere before? What's really cool though is a sequence when Goma begins to depower Goku and it looks like episode 1 of GT when Pilaf de-aged Goku with the Dragon Balls. Airinsu had Glorio learn the Namekian language so he could summon Porunga for her. Why didn't she learn it herself? The Demon World's wish-granting dragon Porunga was summoned, and looks like this is taking inspiration from Planet Namek's Porunga and the Red Shenlong from GT episode 1. He even blocks Goma's punch with the OK hand gesture, the same hand gesture that became synonymous with Porunga from Planet Namek. And those are the Easter eggs, references, lore, and more from Dragon Ball Daima episode 18.